Hey friends, Raul Jimenez here with the Shredder Group. I'm blessed to be with Matt Spencer, Captain in the military, U.S. Air Force.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we are here for one reason in particular, Military City, USA. He recently moved here about a year ago with his wife, and we just wanted to kind of get some perspective on what's going on, what you saw or foresaw or thought was going to be easy, and kind of got you here. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and what brought you to San Antonio?
Well, I entered the military in 2000, so I'm a graduate of basic training, which is right here at Lackland. It's 23 years later, we're back here at Lackland. So it's been an exciting move. Now I'm a chaplain in the Air Force, so my job here is to take care of our military training instructors that teach our trainees at basic military training. So our job is to support those guys in their roles.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that. So people come in to go to basic training, and then you kind of just fast forward it, kind of get them all on the same level, or?
So you have individuals from all over the country, even the world, that come here to join basic military training or join the Air Force. They have to go through training, and they have what's called military training instructors. You've seen the hats, the guys, the commercials. You get the stigma of the guys yelling all the time, which they don't always yell all the time, but a great group of people. My job is to support those instructors who teach our new trainees that are about to come into the Air Force.
So you keep everyone on track. So you see a wide variety of people that come through. We always talk about San Antonio. You said you were here 23 years ago when you did Lackland, and then you went through and then you came back home. What was some of the things that brought you back this way?
So this assignment I put in for, so it was one of the assignments that came up available. It was a brand new assignment. Nobody has filled this slot before, so I jumped at the opportunity to do that. And that's what brought us back here to Lackland. Was they were looking for a chaplain, and a partner of mine. We're called a religious support team. So our job is to take care of the faith-based aspects of life for those instructors and their families. So I was hired for that job here working with my partner, and we get a budget. We get an opportunity to work for a commander here we belong just to that basic training group. So our full job is to support those instructors and their families through different types of events. So we do retreats, we do different types of dinners, we do all different types of outings across Texas. We've done men's retreats, we've done marriage retreats, singles retreats. We've took some ladies to the spa. So we're bringing that resiliency to them, increasing their morale, and getting them in a place where we can talk to them about their spirituality and about how faith interacts with their daily life.
Now, if I'm not wrong here, you have a podcast that you actually broadcast, and you actually talk about these kind of things, because a lot of people, might be overseas or somewhere else, across town, country, whatever it may be. But your podcast is overall in support of just, hey, if you're having a bad day, reach out, talk to us.
Sure, yeah. It's called TI Talk.
TI Talk.
On Spotify. So it's really a podcast. We just finished season 1. We're about to record season 2. And we have military training instructors come onto the show, and they talk about their experiences. They talk about what brought them here. They talk about their families. They talk about the difficulties of learning the job, which is a very stressful job, or it can be. And they've got a lot on their plate, a lot of responsibility in training up our next generation of airmen. So with that comes, a lot of different issues. One would be in trying to come here and find a new home.
Right.
One is to, find a good school, find a good area, those type of things. So we try to work with them through all those different aspects of their life. Those things can create stress, which is where we come in, and try to provide opportunities for them to get away from some of those anxiety and stress-induced issues that they may face.
Which is a really good point. Us as real estate agents try to, adhere or meet all the kind of different situations, because everyone has something different. Our business is probably anywhere between 40 to 45% military based. So, we've been very fortunate to be in that realm, and having people that just make a phone call saying, hey, we're moving down here in March or April, and kind of get an idea what they want. But there's also more to it. And that's kind of why we wanted to kind of do this show, just to kind of talk a little bit more about what other people might be thinking, going through, and kind of going through it firsthand, like you yourself did. So I gotta ask, what you PCS all over the country, I'm sure, maybe even over the world. What makes San Antonio so much different than some of the other places you've been?
San Antonio, to me, we've been several places, so we've moved several times. San Antonio is absolutely huge for military families. There's multiple locations for installations here. You've got Army, Navy here, you've got Air Force here. So a huge demographic of military in this area. And that kind of is difficult for us at times to figure out what area of town we want to live in. One, we look at the schools, and one, we look at safety. One, we look at how close, what's our drive time to our installation going to be. So that really drives what we're looking for. And the hard part is we're looking for a home and we're not in the location. You know, we may be at our previous base, or we may be across the country, and we're trying to figure out how in the world we're going to, you know, settle in a new place like San Antonio from a separated location. So, you know, virtually, through media, pictures, word of mouth, you know, those are the ways that we typically end up finding a location for us to live.
Right. Okay, so now that you've been here, is there anything that you wish you would have known prior to moving here? I know that you and your wife moved down here and kind of took a little pause to figure out where you wanted to be. But was there anything that maybe you wish you were armed with before, or you just kind of done it so many times you know what to expect?
So on the military side, we're pretty good. We know what we're doing. We know what a move entails. We know what packing up our home looks like, and those different aspects. But I think area specific was a little difficult for us this time. Do we want the west side? Do we want to live, you know, more north or south? And it took a lot of research and, you know, word of mouth. And for us, we just couldn't find the right home or the right area right away. So we had to kind of just wait it out. You know, lived in an RV for a while and kind of, you know, surveyed the area a little bit and found the right deal. So for us, it was a little more difficult this time. You know, I think one thing that would have helped us is maybe a little more virtual communication for us to be able to find the right home in the right area. So that would have played a big role for us. But we are also the type of people who we like to put eyes on. We like to put our boots on the ground and go and see it in person. So that's another option we have at times. A lot of military members will take a few days before they PCS to a new location. They'll take leave and they'll drive or fly to that location and look around just to see what type of area they want to be in. We did not do that this time, but when we got here, we you know, really took our time this time and really found the area we wanted to be in, because this is such a large area. Right. And we didn't want to make a financial mistake or an investment mistake. So for us, I think it would have been being able to have better communication and more virtual display of what we can see.
And that's something that we can help as real estate agents. And we do virtual tours, we do walkthroughs, we do all kinds of different things. But mainly, if you have that weekend or that 5 days where someone's flying in, we'll have you booked up and see as many houses, turn every stone that we can to ensure that you're finding the right property. Which this time was a little bit different for you, because this was going to be your permanent home, right?
This one won't be our permanent home. I'm not going to retire here. That I know of. So I do have another assignment in me at least.
Well, you just keep the house. We'll rent it out for you. That way we'll make everything work.
We definitely plan on keeping the home as a good investment. I think we bought right through patience and found a good area. So maybe not our forever home, but definitely one that we're going to hold on to for a little while.
Well, with that being said, we appreciate your time. Captain Matt Spencer right here. If you have any questions, concerns, go to the podcast. What was the podcast again?
Yeah, sure. You can check us out if you want to learn a little bit more about what military training instructors do. Check us out at TI Talk.
TI Talk. There you have it. We'll talk to you soon. Have a blessed day, and reach out if you have any questions.